Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Project Explained, and it's in an evening. So, good evening, wherever you're watching from. This is Kenya, East Africa. Yeah, so this is Devi, your borehole guy, and your Project Explained plug guy. So, today we are going to be doing something different, and it's going to be all about getting back to you. Yeah, I usually listen to you, I usually read your comments. So, today I'm going to respond to your comments because I really value your feedback and I really value your comments. So guys, before we continue, kindly remember to subscribe, like and comment if this is kind of content you like watching, and I really appreciate your feedback and I really appreciate you giving me a thumbs up. So guys, we're going to start with the question number one, and this question came from a guy called Excited Groget, and this was a video about hydrological survey, and I had written hydrological survey explained. I think should be the first video, the second video in my channel. So the Excited asked, does artesian flow after drilling change maybe from the depth of 100 underground to the height of 50 meters? Yes. Now, before I answer this question, we need to know what is an artesian well. An artesian well is a well that has been found mostly in confined aquifers with very high pressure. So you find that when you hit that aquifer, that excess pressure usually pushes the water up of the borehole, and it will be coming out to the surface without even pumping. So is the question is does artesian flow during change? Does artesian flow after drilling change maybe from the depth? No, the only thing that can make an artesian well flow change is the pressure. If the pressure from the aquifer is not enough to push the water up, then trust me, your artesian well will not flow with the same flow it was doing or the same pressure. And with the time, it usually goes reducing that pressure, but you may find it will stay for a very long time. Here in Kenya, we have some regions that usually get artesian wells, and from my if I can remember very well, there's an artesian well we did back in 2018, and it's still there, somewhere in Meru, in Kenya, yeah, in Meru County. It's still there, and but the pressure is not as when we drilled it, but it's still flowing. It's still flowing. So due to the pressure, maybe one day they will reduce. But what the best thing about it is the static water level, even if it reduces, would be very high. You'll find you'll be around 2, 3, 4 meters or 10 meters, which will still also reduce the pumping cost. Yeah, so guys, just to conclude on artesian wells, as I was taking you through, yeah, so most of the factors that make the artesian well reduce pressure is mostly is, as I've told you, is the reduced pressure due to overpumping. This is because because our artesian well is it's like in a confined area that is under positive pressure. So it's like in a balloon. Once you have a balloon with air inside, once you pop a hole, the balloon usually releases air so fast. So when the more you release, that is the more you overpump, the more the pressure reduces. So and obviously you'll note that the rate at which the water is flowing out is not the same rate as which it's recharging. So because it's in confined place, so you may find the pressure will reduce over time. Yes, so we go to question number 2, and question number 2 was about, I am Brian. May I ask whether it is possible to drill a borehole that can be used to generate electricity by means of compressed air? Okay, I'll not say like a normal borehole, that the ones we drill for water abstraction. What I can say is, if you go to a place like in Naivasha in Kenya, there's a place called geothermal. That place is a special area. The area, according to its geology, it's a special area because that area has wells. That is, we have pressure there because of the mountain that is there, Mount Longonot. Mount Longonot once erupted, so it was a volcano. So you know, if a volcano erupts, you know there's those gases down there. So it is unique because of the Longonot volcano and the area geology itself. It can be able to have gases under pressure there down. So if you go drill there a well, I don't know how many meters, but it's not a normal 100, 200 meters, maybe to be 1,000 meters or plus, then you can get now a well that you can generate power, because geothermal does generate power from those wells, but not a general borehole that you drill anywhere. Yeah, so that question may fall to mineral extraction, like in Naivasha or other places that they usually use geothermal in the world. But a normal borehole to use for electricity, for generating electricity, I would say personally, I'm not sure that happens. But if there is, maybe we can still do more research. But what I can assure you is places with geothermal, you can extract that pressure from the ground, and you can be able to generate electricity using that pressure that comes from below. Yeah, guys, so we go to question number 2, and question number 2 comes from AJJHWO, and this was on the video about how much does it cost to drill a bore in Kenya. So in that video, there was some comments and some questions, and I'm going to answer them today. So AJJ asked, can you clarify on, he had some question, like 4 questions. Can you clarify on geological survey cost? Yes, geological survey cost depends from where you are, that is the region. If you are in Kenya, I can comfortably and confidently tell you the costs, but if you're in another country, I don't know how much they do charge in the other countries. But in Kenya, the survey ranges from the actual survey, that the desk study that the hydrogeologists come to site, do a desk study of your land, recommends a point using different types of machines and technology to establish the right place to drill. So that will set you back from 40,000 to around 50,000 if you're within Nairobi, and if the geologist is around Nairobi. So if you go further, that can change. Let's say you want to do a survey in Wajir, it will not be the same as a survey in Embu or Nanyuki or Nairobi or Naivasha. So depending on the distance and depending on where your geologist is coming from, will determine the actual cost of your survey. But it can stretch up to 200k depending on the distance where you are. Like in Wajir, I can assure you it's not less than 100 plus. It's 100 plus. Then we have the second phase. After he has established, or she has established the site, then you can proceed now to apply for authorization to drill. You have to pay for the authorization to drill from the Water Resource Authority. There are other people called the Water Users Association. There is also a fee for them. There are some counties that usually charge authority to drill, and then you'll also get a NEMA license, which is a environmental assessment plus its license. That, depending on the county, without the county, it will set you back to around 40,000. Some counties usually charge 20, some 37. It do vary, but those are mostly the charges that you'll be able to pay when you are drilling in Kenya. But the actual breakdown and the cost depends on where you are, the county you are in, and the local authorities that you are dealing with. Yeah, I think that is answered. Sorry guys, there is a lot of distraction today, but we'll sail through. So as I was saying, question number 2 is, if you happen to drill and no water comes out, who bears the cost? Okay, that's a very tricky question, but I'll answer it the way I know. So if from our company, if you come to the company that I usually use, if you give us the leeway of doing the survey for you, and we establish a point in your land, and we tell you this is the place to drill, then as we bear the responsibility. But what we don't promise you is the quantity and the quality. We never promise that. Even from our contract, it is, we do not guarantee quantity, nor do we guarantee quality. But when it comes as a dry well, if it's us who had done the survey, then we are going to redo a replacement well for you for free, because at that well, we will not have cased the well. It will just be an open well. So we will do it for you. Some other companies don't do it. Some other companies do it. But if you come to our office and you bring your survey report that has been compiled by another hydrogeologist, and you say that's what you want to use, now we'll use your hydrogeologist as the supervisor when we are drilling. But if we lack water from that site, then it's a done deal. You give us a point, there is no water, that's it. So you'll have to pay for another well, for another survey, then it will be like that. Yeah. So it is good sometimes to task a driller with everything. Task him with the survey, task him with the drilling, so that he's be able to be responsible on that. And you usually need to know that before the actual drilling continues. Establish that very, very well. Yeah, kindly do establish that very, very well. Okay, we go to question number 3 from HJJ, and HJJ asks, how do I know the quantity of materials used in a borehole? Now, there are different types of materials that you as a customer needs to know. Like number one, you need to know the number of casings used. You need to know the quantity of gravel pack used. And on the casings, you need to know how many plain casings were used and how many slotted casings were used. Now, this is very easy. If you have a supervisor on site, once a driller has finished drilling, you need to count the number of casings that have been installed. It's very simple to separate between the slotted and the plain one. The slotted will have slots. You'll see it has slots all around. So you'll count. Every casing in Kenya standard is usually 6 meters. So you just count and do times. You multiply by the number of casings that you've got. Then when that has been installed in the bowl. Then when you go to gravel pack bags usually come in different sizes. So if you have if your supplier is supplying you the 50 kg bags, then you multiply by the number of bags that have been inserted in that borehole. If he supplies gravel 75 kgs per bag, so you need to establish this by first measuring on site one bag, then do an average. Then after that average, now you'll be able to tell how many they have been installed in your borehole. I think those are the two materials as a customer you need to establish that have been used: the casing and the gravel pack. Because when it comes to diesel, now that's something else. Yeah. Also, maybe you do like to know if they used Calgon. Just check, it is written, it is 25 kgs, you check. If it is polymer, it is 15 kgs, you check. Like that, you just need to have somebody to record for you what has been used. But the main things is the number of casings and the number of bags of gravel pack that have been used, and that's how you calculate them. Then we go to question number 4. How can one, or being your client, know the exact depth? Yes, this is the same thing as establishing the materials. The exact depth you can establish in three ways. Way number 1, you can count the casings, which are 6 meters. You can count the drilling rods that the driller is using, which are mostly 5 meters, plus the length of the hammer. Just need to measure the length of the hammer, then plus all the rods that is using. You'll be able to tally how deep is your borehole, because they're being inserted into your borehole. And number 3 is using a borehole camera. You can conduct a borehole camera inspection and you'll be able to ascertain the exact depth of your borehole and the exact construction. You'll be able to see where your plane is placed, where your screens are placed, and how your borehole is looking. If there is anything that is wrong with your borehole, you'll be able to see it from the borehole camera. So 3 things. 1, count the number of casings, which is 6 meters. Count the number of drilling rods, which are usually mostly 5 meters. Plus do a borehole camera inspection. So those are physical stuff that you can do, and you'll be able to establish the exact depth of your borehole. Then we go to question number 5, and this goes to any licenses. There's number 5 is asking, are there any licenses required and who bears the cost? The licenses are required. One license that is very much required is authorization to drill from Water Resource Authority. That is in Kenya. You need an authorization to drill from Water Resource Authority. You also need a consent to drill from Water Users Association. You also need a NEMA license. You also need a county authorization to drill, and sometimes a no objection from Water Resource. No, not Water Resource. A no objection from your service water provider. So you can take back. Let's start with no objection from your water service provider, authority to drill from Water Users Association, authority to drill from Water Resource Authority. You need to get an NEMA license, and if the county that you're drilling in Kenya needs an authorization to drill, you need to pay it. Some usually charge for the driller and for the client. So your driller will take you through all that, and those licenses are all on you, who is the client. Those are not the driller's cost, those are your cost for you. The driller usually takes care of his machines and his company, paying his licenses to the Ministry of Water and the National Construction Authority. You now comes to secure your borehole with all that documentation. And just to remind you, before you engage somebody to do survey for you, you need three documentation. You need a copy of your land title, or any document that shows that land is yours. You need a copy of your KRA pin and a copy of your ID if it's you as an individual who is drilling a ball. But if it is an institution, you need an incorporation or any other thing to show that is a company, a limited company, a private limited, or an NGO, just certification to show that what institution is going to drill the water. Okay, then we go to question number 6 from still C HJJ, and he asked any other equipment to install, like pumps. Yes, you need to install a pump after you drill your borehole, and you can only establish the size of the pump after drilling, because you need to do a very important test called test pumping that is done for 24 hours, and a recovery that is done to establish how fast and how good your aquifer is recharging. So you need to establish the quantity of water that is from your bowl from the test pumping, and also get a water quality analysis to also establish the quality of your water. So that step guides you on the pump and the design. Yes, so there is a cost for the pump, there is a cost for also the storage. Yeah, so that also comes with the cost of the client. Once you've drilled a borehole, you need to install a pump and do a water storage solution. And when it comes to the pump, you can power it using the mains, single phase, three phase, or you can do a solar setup system. Then we go to another question, and it's the same video from how much drill a ball cost in Kenya. And there was a guy called Nico Diambo asked, from my explanation, is this minus the cost of the pump and the solar installation? Yes, that scope only covered the actual borehole drilling. When it comes to the pump, as I said from question number 6 from AJJ, it means the pump is very different, and the pump is separate from the quote for drilling. So as I said, a pump is designed uniquely in every borehole depending on the parameters of that borehole. And if it's solar powered, it is also done its own calculation to know the power that you need to power your motors to run your pump in your borehole. So next we will also do a quotation about pumping, because I've seen there's something we've not covered, which is the pump installation. I'll do it for you. Together we will do a quotation, one sample, so that you can see what it takes to equip a ball, either mains or solar. Yes, so guys, thank you. That has been it. I had my notes here, and I hope those questions have been answered. And if you have more clarification, I'm here for you. I'll assist you in answering any of your questions. And if you also want to do a borehole, contact me, DM me. I'll also guide you through how to do and how to get the right things, because many people have lost money in this industry because of misinformation and landing into people who do not care. How they do care is money. Yeah, so if you want transparency, honesty, and good work, kindly contact Devi, me, who is your guy, and I'm gonna take you through the best, and you're going to get value for your money. So guys, remember to support me by subscribing. Take me to 1,000 subs so that you can be able to have this channel doing good. So thank you for everything, and I really appreciate your time. Anyone who comments, thank you so much. Anyone who watches, thank you so much. I really appreciate your help. Thank you guys, and I say peace out, love you, and enjoy the video. Make sure you watch till the end, and if you are still here, thank you. I love you guys. Bye.